Okay. All right, my dude. There you go. uh, yes, let's get into the game. I'm in the lobby now. I just want to transition as quickly away from this to a game as fast as possible. So, without further ado, let's get into game number 1 of our final series of the night. All right, here we go. In the upper left-hand corner in the magenta, playing Zerg, it's our South American player, Babo.
And his opponent in the top right, hailing from Italy, is Pro, as the Grey Protoss.
Okay, so I think Pro showed some really strong games in his previous series, so I'm excited to see what he can bring because I don't really know that much about him or the Italian StarCraft remastered scene. Outside of Cloud being a Gosu, I haven't seen an Italian player really kind of skyrocket off the charts in a while. But at least from watching that previous series, Babo is pretty good, and especially at this matchup, we've seen him do some crazy things. But Pro plays a much different style than Gosu Dark does.
Yeah, I concur. I think that Pro plays a slightly more orthodox style from what we saw. He's got the fundamentals. His macro is actually pretty good. So apart from slight decision-making blunders, I think he's got what it takes to take down Babo. And he's throwing a new build in, because he's going for a great gateway expansion here. And this is something that we haven't seen today yet. Ghost Dark went for that Forge Fast Expand 3 times. Well, he went for the Forge opening 3 times in a row. And here, Pro, we've got going for a gateway. So definitely a bit more aggression on the cards should he scout his opponent in due time.
Yeah, so this is more of like a, I don't know, Bonneth opener. Although sometimes he 2-gates his way into victory and great justice. But, sometimes that's all you need is just put pressure on your opponent, kind of see what they're made of. That's a nice way to test it, be proactive, instead of building, Forge first and trying to, stay back home and defend. But this does delay the Nexus a little bit more. Obviously, you're producing Zealots out there. You're also queuing Zealots, which means you want that much. So here comes the drone, so both players will know where each other are.
Yeah, once again, Babo is going for a hatch first. So this is a 12 hatch and a pull follow-up. So he is going to have to worry about a bit of, aggression from his opponent. But this time it's not a cannon rush, but, just a stray Zealot heading across the map. We'll see how much damage it manages to do. And remember, these guys are playing from opposite sides of the world, right? So there's going to be a bit of lag involved and, micro mistakes might feel like bloated in this situation, right?
But checkmate. Ziggy, little do you know, Babo is excellent at low turn rate Muta Micro. It's like he's playing right next to the guy. It's pretty.
Oh, he actually lost the drone in the main. So
okay, never mind. He sucks at micro at high turn rate.
Yeah.
Whoops, that's not supposed to happen.
Let me retract that statement.
Yeah, never mind. I regret everything I ever said. Well.
Oh no, the Zealot. Oh, he didn't manage to get. Oh, actually managed to get into the nuke. Never mind. But he's going to get picked off with relatively ease, only getting like 3 lings worth of damage. Actually, not even 3.
At least the probe survives. Whoa! He actually tried to drill back through the Zerglings, but probe gets taken out. So now both players are kind of in the dark about each other's builds. And now this is where we get to see what cool things they have in store.
Yeah, but what do you do now as Pro, right? Your aggression didn't pay off. You didn't manage to get any drones. You only forced out. Well, actually, he might have forced out a few more lings than I initially anticipated. But now he's going to have to worry about counter aggression coming in from Babo, because there's actually quite a lot of lings heading across the map. Oh, he's going to pick off a single. No, he's not going to pick that Zealot off. But he's still got plenty of lings coming across the map. He might apply pressure onto the gateway, onto the Forge. Another Zealot pops out, but that's a lot of links.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's able to pick off a couple of them, but the gateway is probably going to fall here. There's no way these Zealots could. I mean, there's a third one out here, but the Zerglings are going to run right by. Are they going to try to target down the cannon? No, they're just going to try to run right into the main. Probe's doing such a good job blocking, but the Zerglings will make it all the way up into the main. This is 6 Zerglings, and it's not what Pro wants to see in his mineral line.
Yeah, I bet the tilt levels are through the roof now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Rebuilding that gateway, he just like can't build units. Oh, this is such a tragedy.
Yeah, how do you get rid of these lings? He's gonna lose a zealot here, and the other one is sure to fall as well, I suppose. Yeah, it's low on HP. The third one pops out, but doesn't manage to get there in time to save his buddies. And yeah, everything is falling apart for Pro here. There's still one ling remaining in the main.
He doesn't even kill all the Zerglings. If that was Bonnet, he 100% would have killed all the Zerglings. Not even close. So there's a Pro trying to get into Scout again, and at least that's working out for Pro. He will see what's coming his way, and he should notice that there is not a lair yet, so that should be at least encouraging.
Yeah, but on the other hand, there's no Cybercore. Oh no, wait, actually, it's just finished. So yeah. Pro is going to be trying to apply pressure, like ground-based pressure. We don't see a Stargate. I mean, he might be a bit too far behind now to go for a Stargate, right? Oh no, never mind, he's going for it anyway. So this is going to be a 3-gate follow-up with a Stargate. It doesn't feel very standard. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, you're kind of thinking on the fly in a situation like this, right? You lost the gateway. Yeah. You kind of need to adjust your gameplay or your game plan based on what's happened this game. And maybe this is the right answer. Because what do you do in this situation as your Pro, right? You've seen that your opponent has 3 bases. He's going up to a 5th hatchery in terms of production. Do you try and macro up? Do you try to go for a timing? Do you try and match him in terms of eco and go for some kind of quick 3rd base as well? I mean, the third option is the least likely, I suppose, but you know, it's always on the cards.
Yeah. I mean, I would expect to just see, if, especially because this is game 1, I want to see Babo go Mutas, because it makes a lot of sense if that's what he's confident with, even at high turn rate. But maybe the turn rate makes him think that it's better to play standard, and he is going up to 5 hatcheries, so that makes Mutas a whole lot less likely. 5 hatch Muta is not really a thing, you know?
Yeah, this is probably going to be a more standard, just Hydro composition. I'm just thinking if Babo wants to go for the same kind of approach as he did on Sylphid, where he got himself in a massive lead, right? Like this one. And then instead of trying to capitalize on that lead, he got a few bases and then kept making Hydras and kept making Lings instead of teching, instead of getting upgrades and whatnot, and nearly threw that game 3 times. Yeah. So even though it might seem on paper that the ball is in Pro's court, that he needs to do something decisive in this game, you know, Babo has proven that he doesn't always know what to do with a lead. And I'm not saying this, you know, as a slight to as an affront to Babo, but I mean, clearly on Sylphid something went wrong, right? It's not just me.
Not sure what these Zerglings are trying to do. Maybe just catch him with his door wide open, but not there. But I totally agree. Something did go pretty wrong there. Let's keep an eye on these. Oh wait, he just lost all of his Corsairs. Well, that's not good. Yeah, he just, well, also Pro must have missed that too. He was killing off Overlords. He got one, but he just sat them there over Hydras, and they all died. So that is bad, because now he's invested in a Stargate, Corsairs, and now he has none of that. His Stargate's not even pumping. All he has are these Zealots at the front door. And for now, they'll be okay, but as soon as the Spire pops, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Babo pump a bunch of units out.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily about losing like firepower. It's about losing scouting power, right? You lost your map presence, and right now you have absolutely no way of checking what your opponent is doing, right? You can't check how many drones there are at the 3rd. You can't check how many Hydras are being built. What pops out of the, you know, of the eggs. You can't see if there's a hive maybe being built, right? You can't see. There's literally nothing you can see, nothing you can check. He's got a shuttle out, right? He's got a couple of High Templar in it, and Storm's about to finish. But this single Zergling at the top of the map might just scout this. Oh, he's trying to sneak past, and he's doing a decent job. You see, he sent that Corsair out first to check if there was anything spotting. That was really smart. That was what was called a pro gamer move. And
indeed it is. And now he's going to be able to drop off this stormy payload, and even the overlords that are being fanned outside the base will miss that this is already stuck through. So let's drop off the KP boys.
Yeah, he's moving out at the same time. Sorry to interrupt you, but he's moving out at the same time to grab his attention. And we've got two swipey boys in the main base. He hasn't realized, and his entire drone line is getting razed to the ground by those swipey boys.
Yeah, he loses every single drone. Wow, what a tragedy. He still hasn't noticed it yet.
Look at the third. The Zealots. The Zealots. Sorry, I couldn't find the right word. Yeah, the Zealots are now getting on top of the Sunkens, but they're once again getting cleared out by the Mutalisks. So while they did do their job of dragging attention away from Babo.
Oh, hi, Templar, storm drop. Oh my god, no way. Yeah. That's 8 kills on that High Templar just instantly. Oh my god, 17 drones for Babo.
Yeah, but at the same time, has Pro thrown away too many units to get this done? Because at the moment, he's only got like 7 Zealots and nothing else. So if Babo turns up the ante and goes across the map, and that's exactly what he's doing with a Flying Shrimp. He's sending all the Mutalisks into the main base. There's only a single cannon and a single Corsair. So even though he managed to find like ridiculous amounts of damage on the other side of the map, can he hold on? There's literally nothing to defend except for a single cannon and a single Corsair. Oh, sorry, there's a second cannon, but guess what? Mutalisks are pretty damn good.
Yeah, so I feel like he did the damage he needed to do, but it was a little bit too little too late. Because it doesn't matter if your opponent has no workers if you have no units.
Yeah. I mean, is this checkmate? Because this feels like checkmate. There's 4 cannons in the natural, but that's too many Mutalisks. Even if you don't go and break the natural, you've taken control of the main base. That's where all the tech is. That's where all the upgrades are being researched. That's where all the pylons are as well. The third base is once again under pressure from Zealots, but they should get cleared out once Babo realizes he's got like 10, 12 Hydralisks in the natural just parked there, not doing anything. But yeah, it feels like a very straightforward game from Babo here. Just
the Mutalisks
are
pretty low on health. This Corsair's actually doing a lot of damage, surprisingly. And he's pumping 5 Dragoons at a time, or at least he could if he wanted to. He's currently not building any units because he can't mine anything. This game is crazy. His opponent's back up to the same worker count. So I guess Babo wins, right?
Yeah, he's managed to stabilize on his side of the map. And now he's got free reign of the main base of the opponent's player. We just wait. Oh, there's actually an Archon there. And it manages to connect a single shot. Another one connects.
Oh.
And those Mutalisks are getting picked off like flies. And another one connects as well. And another one. Yep. So only 2 Mutalisks remain. But still, the question you asked of whether Babo is in a decent position to continue this game, the answer is absolutely yes. He's got 34 drones. He's taking control of his third once again. He's now going up to his 6th hatchery as well, and that's obviously the sweet spot for Hydralisk production.
Yeah.
So there's even more Mutalisks out on the map now.
Yeah, he did make a bunch more. Wow. So, this is a rough spot to be in for Pro. He has basically no units, but I will say the units that he is able to produce are pretty good against Mutas. He's got Archons and then Corsairs. So, I mean, we could run into a situation kind of like the previous series where even though Babo's ahead, he doesn't have the units he needs to close out the game. What are we at? We're at 4 Corsairs right about now.
He's going into Lurkers already. He's got Lurkers in the production tab, so that means he's learned from his mistakes on Neo Sylphid against Ghost Dog, and I don't think he's going to wait too long to close this one out.
Yeah.
So he's going to keep his opponent busy with the Mutalisks while he gets those Lurkers out. And then as soon as he has a critical number of them out, he's just going to go in for the kill, I suppose. And that's going to be lights out for the Italian player. But obviously, anything can happen. StarCraft is a difficult game, and it's not like your opponent always plays a perfect game. So, we'll see. But yeah, for the time being, this is Babo's game to throw.
Well, let's see what he wants to do with it. Corsair's running out. All gonna get scourged or die to the Mutas just chasing them back home. So Can he save both of them? Actually, yeah. So he saves 2. One of them is basically dead, but it'll regen some shields. And he's only making 1 Corsair at a time. So he's got a long way to go. And there are a bunch of Hydras morphing. There's soon to be a bunch of Lurkers. And I don't know. I guess he does have a few Storms, but what does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4 High Templar. And 1 Storm.
Oh, he's morphing 2 into Archons. Oh, into an Archon, sorry.
Yeah. I guess that'll mean 3 Archons, 2 High Templars, and a Dream.
Well, is this the right kind of tech to deal with Lurkers? I don't think so. You probably want more Storms, right? Than Archons. I mean, it's really difficult to find the right balance when you're working with limited resources, as is the case for Pro here, right? He's stuck on 2 bases, and he needs to get something done, because once again, Babo is in full control. But if you look at the supplies, then Pro does have a very slight lead. Usually you would expect a Zerg to be behind in terms of supplies, so this is by all means somewhat normal, but I don't think, well, actually it's just pure Hydras, and if those Hydras stay clumped...
Oh my god! All the Mutas go down in 1 shot. They run into a Storm and Archon hits, so the Mutas are dead. The Zealots are running over these Hydras.
Oh, a massive Storm on the Hydras at the Ram, but the Lurkers are now coming in and cutting this army off.
There's no obs, so once again, Pro has to turn around, but holy, that damage is insane.
Yeah, so it looks like Babo learned from his mistakes. He's got those Lurkers out way quicker in this particular match, and that allowed him to stay alive, not die to this push. And once again, it's a very straightforward game for the Zerg player from here. You just grab your units and send them across the map and try to finish the game, because you've got the lead in terms of eco. You probably have the better upgrades as well. He's at 1-1 when the pros. Oh, actually, he's got +2 attack, so yeah, it's not all doom and gloom for the pros player in terms of upgrades as well. But you go for a 4th base of your own, right? So what's holding you back here? It looks like Babel might be going for a drop in the main base, because he's setting up quite a lot of Hydras and Overlords in the top part of the map, but.
Yeah, where are my obs at? Does he really have no observers? I'm pretty sure he has no observers.
Yeah, that might very well
so
be the case.
He just made his only observer. Okay.
He needs to watch out so as not to storm it like he did against Ghost Dog.
Yeah. No, that is actually a total tragedy waiting to happen. So let's see how good these storms are. First one is pretty good. He does only have 1 more. Oh, he actually gets the High Templar picked off, so I don't think he actually has any more storms left over.
Yeah, it seems like the only AoE he has left are those Archons.
And he loses the other High Templar too.
Yeah, it's really going to be impossible to break this contain now. Those Lurkers are spread perfectly so as not to take any splash damage from Archons, and more importantly from Storms. And look at how many reinforcements are actually moving across the map from the Zerg player now. A massive flood of purple-coloured Zerg units to close out the game. Now he is going to go through a funnel here, so luckily there is no splash damage to kill this army for the Zerg player. But
God, he's just getting sandwiched. Oh my God, GG. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Pro taps out, and Babo takes the game.
So he's game number 1, and we're going to go into the losers match. Sorry, into the second game of the final match, not the losers match. We had that.
Yes.
We had that a moment ago.
Well, in truth, they are both losers, but one of them will be a winner. Haha! They'll have the chance for redemption. Why don't we ever call this last match the redemption match? Because there's the elimination match. Then, if we have to find a new way to say losers match, we have to find a new way to say winners match too. I don't know. So the next map is Gladiator. Just heard that from Zero, who is behind the scenes. If you guys are confused at how we can both run this tournament, type in chat and cast at the same time, it's not just us. There's Zero behind the scenes and a whole host of people helping out with BSL. So !crew in chat. You can see all the amazing people making BSL possible. And of course, that should also include all of you. So big thanks to everyone out there for helping make BSL possible. Putting in Knight. Let's see. Yeah, our next.
I'm a little. Sorry, go ahead.
No, continue.
I just wanted to say that I'm a bit flabbergasted by the fact that the Protoss player chose Gladiator. in a PvZ. Because it feels like Zerg can't lose on Gladiator, right? It's such a good Zerg map. You've got so many bases, so many high ground, low ground situations that you can weave through. I would never pick this map against Zerg. And I think this is a sentiment that is shared by quite a large chunk of the non-Zerg community here. Like Gladiator really favors Zerg in most situations. So I'm a bit perplexed by the fact that Pro actually chose to play on it. But we'll see. Maybe he's got a plan.
Maybe. I love that sentence. Maybe he's got a plan. In theory, hopefully, yes, he does. So we'll figure that out as we get into our next game, game number 2 of our final match of the night on Gladiator. All right, welcome everybody to our second game on the map Gladiator in the bottom right-hand corner in the Cobalt Blue as Protoss. This is our Italian player Pro.
His opponent in the top right-hand corner as the Ping Zerg is Babo. Representing Chile.
That's right, Chile.
Chile.
Okay.
Chile.
Chili is what I'm an expert at making, and once at a county fair won 3rd place.
That is something you can put on your resume, mate.
Oh, I put the ribbon on my wall for a while, and then I had to take it off because I think we moved and I lost it or something. I don't know. Anyway, wasn't that important.
What do you mean it wasn't important? It was 3rd place in the Chile competition, mate.
Look, I'm not trying to brag over here. I'm just saying. It happened once. I think I was like.
But no, mate, I'm being serious.
14. It was good Chile. That's all I'm trying to say. Anyway, but it's Chile, so we're all gonna practice our cultural acceptance. Okay. All right. Thanks. Hey, look. You know what Americans call the capital of Poland, right, Ziggy? It's Warsaw. Ugh. Gross. Ever since I knew it, because it's Warszawa, right?
Is it? What? No. What are you talking about? It's Warsaw.
Are you forsaking your country?
Anytime, mate. First chance I get.
I love it. This is amazing. We're all learning so many things today. I was not in Master Chefs. I was the character in. Wait, who's that? That angry.
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. I was the guy in Gordon Ramsay's show where he puts bread on the sides of my face and asks me what I am, and I say I'm
an Indian sandwich.
That's me, for sure. You guys are spreading fake news in the chat. Anyway, to talk about the actual game, which hasn't been done ever on this show, we once again are getting the exact same start as we had last game. Although I think it's actually a slower hatchery, right?
Not quite, yeah. It was an overpool, I think.
Overpool, not a 12 hatch. Yeah. But it's still a gateway opener on the other side.
Yeah. So nothing different from the Protoss player. Going to go for a Nexus follow-up again. But we'll have to wait and see what the Zealot managed to do, because once again, last time it only managed to get 2 lings, and that was against a 12 hatch opening. So going up against a 9 pool, I think the situation might be a bit more dire. But the upside is, for the Protoss player at least, is that the lings are not out yet. So this Zealot might get a bit of free reign in the main base of the Zerg player. Is getting a bit of mining delay done here. And the lings are not responding just yet. Finally, the Zealot being chased away by Babo.
Is he actually going to pick the Zealot off?
Yeah.
I probably should do. Anyway, that's my one and only kicksism of the day. Anyway, the biggest part about this is that there's no harassment on the other side of the map at all. There's no like gurglings running out there. It's just everybody safe and sound. And for Pro, I don't think I've seen him have an advantage in this series so far. He kind of got surprised as the Lings took down the gateway a little bit ahead of schedule there. So hopefully he has this cannon already coming up. So that'll definitely be there to make sure we don't have a repeat of game 1.
Yeah, and the world is a bit tighter this time. Like, once again, Gladiator is a map that everyone is are accustomed with, right? A map everyone is familiar with. Whereas Clayfield's, a bit iffy because you don't necessarily get to play on it that much. And the wall didn't necessarily seem as tight in that first game, right? Because it had 2 holes, whereas here it just has one hole. So definitely easier. Like the point is definitely easier for Pro to defend here, knowing what could come and knowing how to properly wall on a game also, or on a map also comes into play more often than not.
Yes, I would expect that. What is what do you think about these positions? Because I would have definitely expected Babo to be, maybe more okay with this than cross positions, but it also seems like Pro has not really gotten a chance to really get out there. Although, actually, I take that back because he did kill like almost every single drone. He just also had no units afterwards.
Yeah. Well, it depends on in which regard you think that this is better. In like, what is easier about this position than a cross spawn? Because cross spawn puts you further away from your opponent, right? But it exposes both your like third and natural in very similar degree, because the distance from the Protoss natural to the third and the natural would be similar, right? So you kind of need to split yourself a bit more evenly than here, right? Because if you're holding the natural here, then there's a higher chance you're going to be able to hold your third as well. Whereas over there, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to theory craft here, but it's not going well.
I'm just gonna pull out.
You ask difficult questions. You ask really difficult questions.
No, I ask open-ended questions, so you can be as specific.
You ask pointless questions.
Hey, whoa, whoa! This is a no bully zone, Ziggy.
I'm not bullying you. I'm just having a turkey, mate.
You're what? It's not Christmas anymore. No turkeys allowed.
Oh, sorry. I'm having a laugh.
There we go. All right.
Having a Turkish is having a laugh.
I know Polish is your first language, but don't try. You gotta
no, the thing is, because I've got a mate in London, and anytime I visit, he's from the West End, so he doesn't know any Cockney. And every time I go, I make sure to pick up some Cockney to annoy him with. And it just sticks. Every single time it sticks, and then it comes out. Sorry, I didn't
imagine your first language is English, but it's Cockney English. Ugh. Almost as bad as like
Cockney's beautiful.
English. Something like that.
I've always wanted to sound like Vinnie Jones in Snatch. Like this is my go-to. This is my point of reference as far as accents are concerned.
Well, Vinnie Jones is never gonna get to commentate a game of Brood War. That's for sure.
Is he?
I promise you. Over my cold dead body. Look at how much damage these Corsairs are doing. What on earth? Vatu Hake.
Yeah, I guess we underplayed the importance of Hydralisk in the early game, because those Corsairs, man, they got 1 or 2 overlords there for free, basically for free. But it looks like Babo has rectified his defense at the third as well. He's got a couple of Hydralisk waiting there. But so far, absolutely no aggression coming out from Babo, so definitely a bit of a switcheroo in comparison with what happened in game number 1, where he actually managed to find a bit of damage in the natural with the Lings. And then capitalized on that. That
was a little bit more than a bit of damage. He was in it. So I mean, obviously this is not quite as good for Babo, but I mean, obviously he still has not taken any damage at all. So he knows what's coming. It's just gonna be that same zealot attack, but there's 9 of them. That's just quite a few. So the jig is up as he gets caught by that one Zergling. Let's see how well Babo is gonna be able to defend this.
Yeah, this time it looks like the aggression has a slightly more solid background in terms of economy from Pro. So he's got a lot more zealots coming into the third this time. He's got those Corsairs still flying around. And yeah, it feels like, oh, look at the hold position at the ramp. He managed to split off two zealots there to keep those Zerg reinforcements from helping out. And the Overlords get picked off at the third. The Sunken is also going to fall. And this is already more than enough damage coming out from Pro at the third. This is something that he's been looking for. And there's a Swipey boy at the third as well. There's absolutely no detection here. And he's going for the drones. And there's no Overlords popping out. Yeah, he sees it, but there's no Overlords popping out. Those are going to take like another 10, 15 seconds to spawn. So he's
Wow.
doing massive amounts of damage this game. He's still flying
What a-
around. He's picking up overlords in the natural as well.
Yeah, and all these overlords were still damaged from earlier, so he's gonna get at least 2 overlord kills there, or 2 more overlord kills, and that supply blocks Babo at 45. Oh my god, this is so much damage from actually not all that much. I mean, I guess 9 zealots is 9 zealots, right? That's still pretty scary, but look at the swipey boy still going to town. Finally, there's overlords though.
He's got 56 workers. Pro. There's
my God.
56 workers. See, so that's what I was talking about after that first game. He's got the fundamentals, he's got the macro, but if things fall apart, he might not know how to react. And this time, nothing went wrong, nothing necessarily went wrong, and he's showing that he is where he should be, right? He's
Yeah.
in Pro League, he's not in Ghost League, he's not in Chobo League, he's actually a decent player, and it's showing. So I'm excited to see if he manages to win this game, if he manages to close this out. He's going to go for a third base, looks like, in the 3 o'clock position there. But once again, it feels like he doesn't have sufficient units to hold it if Baba were to go for an aggressive punch. But it doesn't feel like Baba is that decisive to do so, or is decisive enough to do
Ugh.
so.
And Babo's on 33 workers right now, just 60.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of drones.
Yeah, or probes rather. For drones, yeah, not actually quite a lot.
Oh, sorry,
for
yeah,
sure.
I meant probes, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, the shuttle's heading back home after this swipey boy devastates the main base. No drones allowed in that base. How many kills did that DT have before it died?
I have absolutely no idea, but I know that there's another swipey boy still waiting.
Okay. Yeah,
okay,
so
we've just been
High
told
Templar
that
got it,
High
but
Templar, we're the only
Yeah.
real killers there.
How dare they? Well, anyway, not a lot to a lot. That's the situation right now. And this is Pro pushing across the map. He has a shuttle, but I'm guessing he's just going to use that to ferry another, Templar into the main or natural or whatever. But this is going to be scary because Babo is in Struggle Town. He's got
Yeah, he
half
just-
his opponent's supply.
He could just break the front because the lurkers are not ready. The eggs are
Oh,
getting stormed to death. And
Yeah,
another one
double-
will seal the deal. And there we go.
Damn, no lurkers allowed. Trying to get a sandwich on, but a storm actually nice dodge there with the Hydras. Does not have a whole lot of storms left, but he's got that one. Every Hydra blows up, and that means that Babo is pretty dead.
Yeah, and once again, it seems like we might be going to the final. It's down to the wire. We might be going to the last match, the last map of the series, unless Babo somehow manages to rally a defense here. And I might have
Wait,
called
what?
it a bit too early because it seems like Babo is holding on. But I mean, it's 30 drones against 62 probes on the other side. What are the upgrades? +1 attack. How far is +2 along? It's only halfway done. There's still zealots in the main base of the Zerg. They're not finding much more damage other than the drones they've already actually killed. So, yeah. It's a shame we missed that. I didn't see that.
Well, yeah. You did get damage done in the main at the same time. That's why the drones are still pretty low. So Babo has 2 options. He can try to just max on drones, try to get back to a good, healthy drone count and play the game out, which is probably a losing play, or he can go all in. And that's the choice that he's making right now, just building as many units as he can and trying to go for it. But I don't know if that's the play here.
I mean, Pro doesn't have that much AoE, right? He's got one High Templar with no energy for Storm. It's only 7 energy away. So he's going to have 1 AoE spell to take care of these Hydras and Lurkers. But does he have an Observer? He's got 1 Observer, so... Oh, the shuttle gets sniped with a High Templar. So there's absolutely no AoE. There's no AoE for Pro, and Babo could actually break his opponent here. But he's fighting upper ramp. This is what I was talking about. That there's so many high ground, low ground situations that...
Kill the Observer! He only has 1 Observer! If he sniped that Observer, then maybe there would have been a chance with Lurkers, but that's not enough. Babo taps out, and Pro ties us up.
It looked promising because he sniped the shuttle and there was absolutely no AoE. But, the fight, the execution was subpar, and I mean, he didn't have that much to work with in the first place, but happens. StarCraft is a difficult game. Okay, so,
Hard game to play. Well, game number 3 is coming up, and that means we're casting the maximum number of games today. Never a dull moment here at PSL. It is currently almost 5 a.m. here, so hopefully we get some short games in our next group. Either way, it's going to be exciting to see how this group turns out, because it's very clear that both players are playing super well right now. So,
did you say you were hoping? Sorry to interrupt, but did you say you were hoping for short games in the second group? Is the passion dead?
Look, all I'm trying to say is that I will be dead at some point. So either the passion or me, one of us has got to go. So let's get into our final map of Group C is Neo Sylphid. So let's find out which player is going to advance out of this group in second place. It's going to be Babo or Pro. I actually loaded into this map really slowly, so I was gonna segue perfectly in, but now I've finally loaded. So let's get into it. Game number 3 on.
See, this is what wouldn't have happened if you had gone for KT internet and not SKT.
No, I actually just joined the map too slow. That was definitely
sure. Yeah.
Okay, well here we go. The game is the third one.
The last one of the group.
That's right. Our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. It's one of the games that we played today.
Number
the
9.
last one of Group C. You're right.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's 9. Yeah, it is actually 9. All right, I did the math. Anyway, let's get into our bottom left-hand player in the teal is our Italian Protoss player Pro.
And his opponent in the bottom right of Sylphid, he's playing the Ping Zerg. He's Babo.
Okay. So, final game of the night. 3-player map. Both players probably scouting the wrong way. But I want to see if Babo. Oh God.
Bless you. Bless you.
Whew.
Right. So
All right,
I guess
I'm still
what
alive, guys. Never mind.
I guess what we should have to look out for is whether this is going to be another gateway opening, or maybe Pro switches things up with a Forge. But it looks like it's going to be a gateway. There we go. So no switcheroos. A tried and trusted build. Apparently, it worked once. It did work once. So this is the defining game, right? If Pro wins, this is his go-to build. If he loses, you should probably think of switching things up next time.
Yep.
But yeah.
Well, I think he's ironed a few kinks out of this build. Last time he had a kind of a rough time defending the gateway in his wall, lost it, took a bunch of damage. Never really the same after that. But neither player is impervious to getting into a good position and then throwing that out the window. So gonna have to hold on. Definitely not calling this series early by any means. But what I was gonna say is I really hope Babo tries to go for another one of these crazy muta builds, because I think he's actually pretty good at it. But once again, maybe the latency prevents that. Maybe we're just gonna see another 5-hatch Hydra play out.
But actually, if you want to go for Aspire and you're going up against Corsairs, then I think that the latency is working for you, right? It's working in your advantage, because you get Scourge, and it's a bit more difficult to micro Corsairs against the Scourge. Like, imagine doing the Chinese triangle on turn rate 8. It's not possible.
No,
right?
That's what we call the Peruvian triangle. It's
Peruvian triangle, where you try to do the Chinese triangle and fail.
You just can't do it because it's turn rate 8. Probably not going to see any of those today. Joe's chilling in the natural, checking out the Nexus coming up, so at least both players are going to be pretty well appraised of the situation.
There's no wall, there's no Forge, and there's like 8 lings knocking at the front door.
Wait a second. Are we
Something
gonna see
went wrong. Is this a repeat of game number 1? Because something must have gone wrong.
That's what I was going to say. I believe, in fact, that Pro is in trouble. That's Italian for trouble.
Trouble, say?
It's definitely not. I mean, good micro on the Zealots will actually kill off most of the lings. So
he's going to be fine. So there's only like 4 lings.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he'll be able to be like annoying. Oh, no way! How did he get that Zergling through? That thing's coated in butter.
Slippery.
Oh no, he's gonna be able to get the rest of the Zerglings through too. What? Disaster! It's a disaster.
So that first Zealot, right, when it moved away, that in StarCraft 2 terms is called doing a mana, right? because Mana was known for leaving his zealot as part of the gateway and then forgetting to put it on hold, and then units show up, and that zealot just walks away. So that's called doing a Mana, and that's exactly what happened there. But yeah, the tables have turned, and now the 3 zealots are moving across the map, and there's only a bunch of lings to defend. And I think 3 zealots quite easily beat 6 lings, wouldn't you say?
I mean, he's got 8, and the zealots are a little bit split. If he can get the zealots into a good position, then yeah, sure, absolutely. But good stutter step there on the zealots, keeping the low health ones alive. Look at the HP on these zealots. Oh my god, the control is insane.
But they're not going to get chased down here, and well, they actually might manage to get back home, or at least. See,
the play was to fight in the shade of that doodad for the mischance, but that's only for ranged attacks. So
yeah, I just wanted to point out that trees don't help in melee.
Hey!
I don't think they do.
Look, right? You can dodge around the tree.
Can you? What kind of a fist fight have you been in with dodging around a tree?
Maybe it's a big tree, okay? What if these are like Brood War redwoods or something? I don't know. Right. Where's my realism in Brood War?
Oh, there's a zealot in the natural, and there's no defense.
What? No way.
He's getting one drone.
Two. Give me 2. Can I see 2? No way. Oh my god, look at the glitch. It's so crazy. He's gonna go back in for it, but I don't think he can target. Oh my god, he got the second one. How did he click through everything? That's insane.
I was really looking forward to your Sesame Street vampire impression, but it didn't.
I was doing the best I could on short notice. Okay.
I was genuinely looking forward to it, but then the zealot glitched out, and my hopes got crushed. So yeah, we've got another zealot now coming into the 3rd base, but sadly, 2 drones just popped out. One of them might get swiped. No, not yet. Right, so it seems like the game might stabilize, but it's like a mixture of what we saw in game 1 and what we saw in game 2, right? Whereas like in game 1, Babo was the aggressive player, and then in game 2, Pro did a number on the Chilean player. Right now, it's like both players trading blows, and we're just going to have to wait and see which of them comes out ahead, right? Comes out on top. We've got the first Corsair now coming into the natural of the base. Into the natural of the Zerg player. There's no overlords to pick off there. He somehow manages to find one. But yeah, there's a lot of overlords strewn across the map, right? There's like 3 loose overlords, and if Pro realizes that this is the case, because he hasn't actually seen that many overlords in the main base, he could send this Corsair out and go overlord hunting. He finds one in the natural, finds another one in his own main, and he's now going to spot the 3rd one with the zealots. Yeah, he's used that. Does he? No, never mind. He didn't see that. But yeah, he could probably just send those Corsairs out looking for those overlords, because he didn't see any in the main or the natural and the 3rd. So they have to be somewhere, right?
Wow, it's about that time. 7 lings running across the map, but there's 2 cannons, so no way to get inside the map, and another overlord should go down here if this Corsair is adventurous.
Yeah, Babo gets supply block, and now 2 zealots are running rampant in the 3rd base of the Zerg player. There's 3 Corsairs finding more and more overlords in the natural. There's literally no defense save for 1 Hydralisk.
Yeah, he's gonna get another overlord. 35 out of 20. 28, I guess, now, but he's even gonna maybe even sack a Corsair to kill off yet another overlord. No units allowed to be built here. Pro is finding a real weak spot in Babo's defense.
Yeah, things are falling apart here for the Chilean player, as he's having a hard time even producing units.
Oh no, and look at the 3rd
base. Yeah.
All the overlords
are going to get picked off.
No units. Oh my god, and they're stacked too. Oh, disgusting.
There's 4 overlords right before the picking. Only 2 going to get sniped here. Needs to watch out because he doesn't necessarily want to lose those Corsairs, but he's still going after those overlords. And Babo is in a perennial supply block here. 41 out of 36. He's only now managing to stabilize in his natural and at his 3rd as well. But Pro is already up to 54 Pro. Okay? 55. Okay, 56.
Yeah. Pro probably has more probes than Babo had supply there for a second. disgusting amount of damage done.
Yeah, he's still got more probes than Babo has supply in general. I mean, this is crazy.
I don't know about
57 drones.
Yeah,
Probes.
oh wow, you're actually true. That's actually disgusting. What?
He's going for Storm. He just needs to batten
Yeah.
down the hatches now. If he goes for the third and battens down the hatches and waits like 3 minutes, he's going to be able to move out with an army that is unstoppable. So, sleepy time. Sleepy
Yeah,
time
I'm
for
just
Rapid.
gonna relax here
He's
for a
gonna lie
second.
down.
Watch the end of this game transpire, because I don't know if there's too much to watch here. I mean, look,
You
we've
can go
seen-
for a quick nap. I'll call you when the
Actually,
group is done.
You're probably right. If I napped right now and we had the commercial break afterwards, I'd hit like half a REM cycle or something. Anyway, I think this game might be a little bit over.
I mean, there's quite a lot of Hydras here, and if they sandwich these Zealots, then he might still be in the game because he's finding a decent trade in the center of the map now.
Yeah, there's no
Right?
splash
Yeah.
damage here. You
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
don't want to fight into this position. After you got such a large amount of damage done, he built a bunch of infrastructure, but he hasn't really had all these gateways kick in. He's only producing off of like half of them, or he was for a second, but now he's got a bunch more macro cycles coming out. Not able to kill off those overlords, so supply
Storm's
block.
about to finish in like 2
Yes.
seconds. Does he
As
have
soon as
any?
that's
He's got like
finished-
one. He's got one Storm.
Yeah, nice split though on these Hydras.
Oh.
Really good job dodging. Only kills one Hydra with a Storm. Some are a little bit lower. Can he take out the Overlords? Kills one, but can't take out the rest. So there's a big moment here as these Hydras fight against the Protoss army with no Storm energy.
Yeah, it feels like Pro felt a bit overeager to move out and finish the game, and now he's paying for it. Jesus Christ, all these Zealots are getting raced to the ground. There's one more High Templar here, but it's only got 60 energy. The one in the back has 80, so he could cast one Storm. And that's a decent Storm on top of the Hydras, but there's too many remaining. Another High Templar comes out. It's got 75 Storm, exactly for one Storm. So that does decent damage, but there's literally no support for these High Templar. And it looks like Babel might actually be able to come back from the dead in this game. He's moving
Oh, he's got
into the
another
natural.
Storm?
Oh, that was a
that's a
decent.
pretty-
Oh, exactly moving into it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. I mean, Pro's
That was the
gonna have
Archon
to
splash.
here. But keep in mind, his opponent has 28 drones, so losing a few probes here is okay as long as he can stabilize, get this Archon out, and get some more Storm energy. Ooh.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, he did a lot of eco damage. He killed like 20 probes there, and he's now, well, he's actually committing to this aggression even more. I think this is the right call, because even though you're trading, you're forcing your opponent to trade energy, right? And then, even if you have to go back later, you're going to face off against fewer storms than you would have to if you let this aggression slide. But this is a massive storm on top of the Hydras, and it might be time to actually move back and recuperate your losses and just drone up a little bit, maybe go for lurkers and
Oh, he's
delay.
got, did I hear an Overlord loading up? I thought I heard drop, right? Yeah, so he has actually drops looking to come in. Then that could be a cool way to
Oh,
kinda,
that's good to know. That's good to know.
He has one Hydralisk and an Overlord. Sick. Obviously,
this-
he's going to morph that in the back and make a Lurker, but
There's about one Zealot for every Hydra, and that is a fight you don't want to take as a Zerg. So I think the smartest move here is just to go back and go for Lurkers and just batten down the hatches as the Zerg. Place Lurkers around your third, around your natural, and just try and delay the Protoss counterattack. Right? I think that's the most sensible choice.
I mean, one big problem was
Yeah,
he
go
got
ahead.
like supply blocked there while he was trying to like all in, just like, didn't have the ability to make any more units. He's also kind of draining a few Hydras off a bad rally point, but both players are going to get a third base up, and I think this is better for Pro, right? Oh, it's 66 out of 61. He lost another Overlord.
Oh, he must have lost one. Yeah, you're right. But still, it's quite impressive to come back from as big a deficit as Babo was, right? At the start, losing that many Overlords and still managing to nearly close out the game with a counter push. That is impressive in itself, And
Right.
even though it looks like a Pro game here, right, with Pro in the lead, that's what I meant.
Ha ha ha.
It's hard to decide what to do when you're the Zerg here, because you're behind, you didn't kill your opponent. Do you want to drag this out? Do you want to try and go for another push. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. You know, that's probably the point I'm getting at. But yeah, the game has slowed down. You know, we've entered kind of a lull, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Waiting for something to happen. A lule.
No. You're doing okay. Yeah, see this bad rally point. He keeps losing random overlords and getting like supply blocked.
Yeah, you're right. So he's going for a massive drop, right? He's just loaded up like 5 overlords in the natural. But little does he know that there's a Protoss army knocking at his door.
Yeah, that's like when you recall your army into your opponent's base, but also he's attacking you, so you have no units to defend. So he's going to load up all these units and then have to drop them all immediately to survive.
Yeah, but how do you fight in this choke point then? Aren't you just supposed to move out and try to fight the Protoss head on? I mean, actually, I don't know, because there's... On one hand, you're running the risk of getting stormed to death in the choke point, and in an open location like that, you're running the risk of getting overrun by your zealots. And
oh, if he storms his overlords, it's going to be huge. Storm. Oh my god! Disgusting. Where's another storm? He's got another one back there. GG, that's going to do it. Damn, Pro. What a monster. Both of the new players, Pro and Goku, advancing on to the round of 16.
Yeah, both of our underdogs that we didn't think would make it through. I think we were both expecting Ghost of Dark and Babo to kind of cruise through this group, given how far they managed to get, you know, in seasons past. But, you know, big surprises coming out from Goku and Pro, the Italian newcomer as well. So excited to see what they bring in the round of 16, and excited to see what Group D shows us today as well.
Yeah, Group D is going to be super exciting. But to kind of tie the ribbon on the end of Group C, I just want to give a big congratulations to Goku and Pro for advancing. We're going to be seeing them in the round of 16, along with... Am I dumb for not remembering this? Along with Dandy, Hawk, DeWalt, and Castro, who qualified out of Group A and B yesterday. So today we qualify 2 more players coming up, and that's going to be in Group